welcome to this special Messy Church online. We are celebrating Easter, so if you came to one of our Messy Church events and you received one of these books, then you're going to need that. You're also going to need a piece of paper and a pen. So if you want to pause the video, go and get those things and then come straight back to us. Right, so coming up, we have an Easter challenge and I have a helper that's going to help me with that challenge. We're going to also listen to the Easter story and I've also got a quiz for you. So we're going to have some fun, but let's get started with this Easter challenge. Right, so I have an Easter challenge for Liv. I'm going to challenge Olivia to place as many of these Easter marshmallows into her mouth at any one time. Now I wonder how many she'll be able to do. Now they're quite big. How many do you think you'll be able to do, Liv?
Probably about 6.
6. I'm not sure if you'll be able to do as many as that. I think you might do less than 5. How many do you think Liv might be able to fit into her mouth? Do you think less than 5 or more than 5? Right, are you ready for the challenge?
Yes.
Right, at home, why don't you count along with me as Olivia places the marshmallows into her mouth? Are we ready? Right, off you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No more? 7. Did you guess right at home that Olivia would get more than 5 or less than 5? Now that's a little bit of a surprise. I wasn't expecting that. I thought you would definitely get less than 5. Now today's story is all about 2 people that have a very big surprise. The story is called The Seriously Surprising Story, and it tells us all about the very first Easter.
Two people, moving and marching, thinking, head scratching about something big that's just been happening. But on the road to Emmaus from Jerusalem way, 2 became 3 as another says, Hey, says he, you've been thinking and head scratching. Has something big just been happening? You've not heard about what's been happening? All of Jerusalem have been head scratching. What have I missed? Asks the man. I'd love to know, please tell if you can. It's about a man called Jesus, and we thought he was coming to rescue God's people and send the Romans off running. He did, and he said loads of cool stuff from a place up north called Nazareth. He told great stories and healed the sick. He knew people by name and what made them tick. Oh, remember that wedding? He turned water to wine, brought his friend back to life, and his friend felt just fine. He was sharing and caring, just ask his friend Pete. He walked on the water with only his feet. He said shush to the storm, and the storm was hushed. He did a miracle with bread, and thousands were stuffed. Besides all this, his sermon up a hill had so many stories, super cool and brill. I can't believe it. What a big loss. A man so great who hung on a cross, and on that cross, that's where he died. I feel so tied up in knots inside. And 3 days have passed, though it feels more like 70, 'cause now we've heard that his tomb is empty. That's right, you heard me. His body is gone. But who'd take his body? He never did wrong. You seem confused and out of the picture. So let me show you what it says in the scripture. It was always the plan, right from the start, because Jesus loved you with all of his heart. He died on the cross, but rose from the tomb. He came back to life so you can live too. And as they were moving, and still head scratching, 2 of them stopped, but the 3rd kept on marching. Hey, don't go, please, the 2 say. The sun's gone to bed, so why don't you stay? Good point, says the third. Day has turned to night. I'll stop over with you two and then grab a bite. And as they sit down to eat, they close their eyes. He thanks God for the grub, then what a surprise! The two people stare and then rub their eyes. It's Jesus, not gone, but fully alive. And before they say seconds, there's more bread going round. Jesus just vanishes. He cannot be found. The two are left thinking and really head-scratching. They'd just been with Jesus. Something big was happening. We must say we've seen Jesus, so tie up your shoes. Quick, to Jerusalem. There's no time to lose. All along, it was Jesus, the very same one. They were searching the scriptures with God's precious Son. It's the biggest story that's ever been told. About Jesus who's risen. It never gets old. The two met with Jesus in the most surprising way. They shared the story, and we still share it today.
Now in that story, we heard about two people that did have a very big surprise. And on Easter Sunday, Jesus was no longer dead, but they found the tomb empty and he was alive. Now that was a very big surprise. Have you had any surprises? Sometimes we might not like surprises, and sometimes we might really like them. I think on that Easter Sunday, when those two people realised that they'd been talking with Jesus, it was a really good surprise. Now I have a few questions for you, and you will need your book for this and your piece of paper. Are you ready? What animal scratched their head about what had just been happening? Jesus was from a place named Nazareth. Did the narrator in the story say Nazareth was south, east, west, or up north? What miracle was mentioned straight after Jesus turned water into wine? What colour is the colour of the crab that was under Jesus' feet when he walked on water? How many piles of material could you see folded up in the grave? Noah's Ark was shown on the scroll. Is that true or false? What image is on the signpost pointing to the place they go to eat in the evening? What was under the dining room table when they are looking for Jesus? What book is the mom reading to her child at bedtime? And the last question, what instruments can you see in the last scene? Right, are you ready? We're going to mark your answer sheets now. So, question number 1. What animal scratched their head about what had just been happening? And the answer is a squirrel. Did you get that right? If you did, give it a tick. If you didn't, give it a cross. Question 2 was, Jesus was from Nazareth. Did the narrator say Nazareth was south, east, west, or up north? The answer was up north. Question 3. What miracle was mentioned straight after Jesus turned water into wine? He wrote, bringing his friend back to life, then you can give it a big tick. What colour is the crab under Jesus' feet when he walked on water? And the answer is red. How many piles of material could you see folded up in the grave? And the answer is 3. Question 6. Noah's Ark was shown on a scroll. True or false? And the answer is true. What image is on the signpost pointing to the place they go to eat in the evening? And on the sign it says a house. If you got that right, you can give it a tick. What was under the dining room table when they were looking for Jesus? Did you spot it? It was a dog. 9. What book is the mom reading to her child at bedtime? And the book was The Seriously Surprising Story. Question 10. What instruments can you see in the last scene or on the last page of the book? And the answer is a guitar and some drums. Right, now count up all the ticks and all the crosses and we'll see how well you did. So how many did you get out of 10? Well, if you got 5 or more, then you did some super listening and big well done to you. So Easter is all about having fun, having some surprises too. It's about enjoying chocolate, going on Easter egg hunts, spending time with our family, maybe going outside and seeing all the beautiful spring flowers that are popping up. But Easter is also about when Jesus died on the cross and rose again. Maybe we can remember that when we're having lots of fun this Easter time. Have a very happy Easter and we look forward to seeing you very soon. Bye bye.